Another year is done and dusted. Just plug that microphone in too. Another year is done and dusted. So let's talk about the year that was. We've had rather a busy year. I guess all up we've done about 20 machines, 20 full-blown repairs. We've had one restoration in that complete, right, only one, wasn't it?
No, there was Target Pool and Bowling Queen.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about Target Pool, yeah. Oh, Bowling Queen, yeah, that's true too, yeah, we had 3, so there's a couple of machines we forgot.
Probably other. We've done a couple of playfield swaps. We did other cabinet resprays as well. Like we resprayed a fast draw.
Yeah.
We resprayed the Close Encounters again.
Yeah. Anything else?
Yeah, a solar ride. Got the solar ride again. So we've been busy.
Yeah. Yeah, Merry Christmas, Jim.
Jim.
How's things in Pennsylvania today? Look, we've got our dog coming out. Have a look at Abby. There she is. Get on, have a look at our viewers.
Yep, she's having a bath today.
Yeah, so after that little bit of a false start there, it's Saturday morning here in Australia. It's now about 6 minutes past 10 in the morning. I set the schedule for 10, but I forgot to change the orientation of the phone and it mucked it all up. Had to start all over again. Anyway, we're all good to go now. Yeah, so it's about 22 degrees Celsius here, which is approximately 71.6 degrees Fahrenheit in American terminology. What other countries still use Fahrenheit? I think you Americans are lagging behind there. I don't think too many do. I'm not 100% certain. Yeah, so as I said, the year that was. So 20 machines, and Graham, he just added a couple more, so...
Yeah. Had a few call-outs too.
Yeah, we don't do many call-outs.
Mainly if we know the game.
Few and far between. That's for sure and certain. So what machines we did do, we did a back early in January, we did a surf champ. I can't really remember a lot about that one.
Because we get so many of them in.
I think we did a video on that one. Then we had a big Indian come in. Now that big Indian was a bit of a mess, that one. Had a lot wrong with it.
Yeah.
We had a Playmatic Fantasy. Never again. Never ever do any more Playmatics. They've got that ridiculous setup with the flippers, which you can't buy parts for. The wires, even though they're plastic, the colours all fade. And they're just a disaster. So them and Reseller on the banned list.
We'll probably do Zacharias.
Yeah, they're not, because they're more a Williams type.
They're not too bad.
Yeah. We had an Abracadabra come up from Victoria. A lady sent that up to us along with a Fireball. So we done those 2 machines.
We had to replace the motor in the Fireball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the spinning disc on the playfield in the Fireball, we noticed that it seemed to be running, I don't know, erratically, wrongly, incorrectly, whatever.
Too fast and making a hell of a noise.
No, it was noisy.
Yeah.
Anyway, we investigated and found out that, yep, it was totally the wrong motor. Someone had done a hack and a modification and put a motor in there and to change the resistance of the motor, they put a relay in series with it. And we just weren't happy about it.
The noise that it was making it barely playable.
Yeah, it was horrendous.
So annoying.
So we ended up chasing a motor, brand new stock motor,
Yeah. How lucky is that?
in Canada. So that come from flippers.com, and the lady bought that and we fitted it in, and it was much quieter and it worked really well. The next two games we more or less had in then were two Gottlieb high hands. Now one of these was a brand new cabinet, a playfield.
That's right, that's another restoration we done.
Restoration where the an overlay was made for the playfield. It had all new rails and door and back glass. I think the back glass came from Shea Arcade.
It was pretty well a new machine except the mechanics.
Yeah, so we went right through that and got that going, and apparently it belonged to the fella's grandparents. They owned a fish and chip shop or something in Sydney, and it had a bit of sentimental value. So that was all done. Around about the same time as when we completed that Bowling Queen. Now, Bowling Queen had actually been bought, restored, that it had a number of little problems, so did you repaint that?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah, so Graham traced the stencil, and we've done a video on that, so have a look at that, how to make a stencil with and the painting and our process. We did that for the owner. That's a guy that Graham's dealt with for many, many years, and he's got a number of really smick machines. We've also done for that guy the target pool. Now that's the one where we rebuilt the entire trip bank. You all saw our video on that one, and we had that at our Pinfest. So we did that one. And then another high hand came in just as we were getting rid of the fully restored high hand. A guy bought another one in that he had stored away for 20 odd years. We got that going for him, and then what happened was we got a Williams swinger coming in, and along with what else did the guy have? Oh, a Big Brave.
Big Brave, yeah.
So the swinger, that's the one with the swinging target.
I think the swing wheel had trouble.
And it's got a score reel in the back box. They call it a swing reel. It wasn't getting to home all the time. I can remember that. It had a spinning contact pad on the run-out switch.
So we fixed that and just gave the machine just a quick going over.
We re-rubbered it. Yeah. And the Big Brave. And then all the way from Tasmania, and for those of you that know the geography of Australia, Tasmania is the island below us, but we own it, unfortunately. But that came up to go into our Pinfest, so we got that pro football going. That came out of an old operator closed up down in that area, pretty well had Tasmania covered.
Happy Christmas to all the Tassie Mafia boys.
Oh yes,
they'll be watching.
Oh, they don't. They're solid state blokes. They don't care. We then had that Grand Slam come in that we did the video on, that had the bad, the wrong score motor in the wrong cam. That was the one where you had the two types of score motor, one with a thin shaft and one with a thicker shaft. It had a thin shaft going in a thick cam arrangement. It was crazy and had a lot of problems. Also had scoring problems. It had a motor switch dog in the wrong spot. Have a look at our video. You'll enjoy it. Matter of fact, anybody who has one of those baseball, football type games that have those interlock relays in them, like those man on base ones, have a look at that video. You'll learn a lot about how to modify those and tune them up so they work really good. You may or may not be able to hear in the background a pinball machine running now. That's actually another Grand Slam, yeah. The guy lives in Sydney and he's on his way up the North Coast, so he dropped in this morning to pay us for it.
You had a quick look at it and he loved it.
And he's very impressed, and he's since bought two more pinball machines, a Jungle Queen, which is one that we had here about 5 years ago, and he bought a Super Soccer, so a 4-player Gottlieb game. So after that last Grand Slam that came in, we had a Card Whiz pop in from up the North Coast. So the guy bought that machine in good faith, but it did have a number of problems with it, including a missing part off the reset bar. That triangular bar had fallen off at some point and just disappeared, and it had really eaten into the triggers on the drop targets. So we actually made one up, and have a look how we did it. We did it off by using the channel that the back door sits in, and I got lube game and just fabricated it up.
Actually, the right size, perfect.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was like it was made for it.
Graham discovered that and found that. Who we got here? Hey mates, happy holidays. Oh, wacky world of, I always go to say weirdos, but it's Windios. Hi, yeah, happy holiday to you too, and Merry Christmas. Thanks for dropping by. We had this card whiz. It really had some problems with it, but anyway, I mean, people don't know, and we got it all going. Then we had another Jungle Queen come in. That was the one where we done the video on why does the 100 points appear on a single player game occasionally when the ball's getting kicked out through the trough, and showed you a modification that was developed some years ago by the guys at Pin Wiki and a few other people. We're going to do a follow-up on that next year, that problem, and we've actually got some more in-depth answers on that. So the modification probably isn't necessary. Next time we get one, you don't get a lot of them, we're going to try something and we're going to share that with you. But the modification will work if you really are desperate, and we have done it about 5 or 6 times. So I won't go into it too much today. It's sort of not what we're here for today, but that's another thing we've got coming up. Then we had all the way from up far north Queensland a bank shot. Now, you American people obviously know that bank shot's an addaball game, and of course I've mentioned before we don't see addaballs, Graham, do we?
Not very often. We've seen one about 2 years ago with that. What was it, Tiger?
Tiger, yeah. So that's of course the addaball game of sure shot. There's the dog going crook in the background there. Now, bank shot, we didn't have the schematic, and we had a couple of little problems with it which we could have used the schematic, but anyway, we worked it all out by pure logic and common sense. So we did a video on that as well, and that was why wouldn't it count up to 5 balls when it started the game, and of course they count backwards 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And anyway, we worked that out logically, so have a look at that video too. Now, I keep reminding you to have a look at our videos, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. I think we've got about 207, 208 videos now. I'm not 100% sure. We did put another one on there yesterday, which is doing really well. And that's about 5 main reasons why the score motor won't stop when you do a reset. In other words, it keeps running and a game won't start. So we've listed out 5 reasons and given you some explanations on the schematic of what else can cause those problems and so on and so forth. But we get paid now off YouTube for our videos. Not a lot of money, not a lot at all, but we are getting paid. We just got another check the other day, and we had one, I think it was July or something like that. Not sure how often they pay. I think they pay every quarter or something. I do forget. But anyway, yeah, so the more people that subscribe to our channel and watch our videos, the more money we get. We're only making reasonably money on the newer videos. The older ones that we've got a lot of views on, we're not getting much at all. Sorry about that dog. I think someone's here. Graham's beer man and chook man might have just arrived. Getting back to the games we've done. After bank shot, we did a centigrade 37. We did a video on that as well. We had to take the actual unit out where the ribbon is. It's just a big stepper. because it was all totally seized. We did that, and we've got some good stuff on that for you as well. And then we've just done another Grand Slam. That's the one you can hear getting played in the background at the moment. So that's the last machine for the year. We did start on my Tropic Isle playfield swap. We're up to the point now where we've actually changed all the guts off the bottom. We've got it onto the new playfield, and now we're starting to put it all back together. So that'll be it for a little while. And there you go, people. Merry Christmas to Marco Rossignoli. For those of you that don't know, Marco is a world famous pinball book author. He wrote 2 books on his own and co-wrote 2 with Graham. They're all still available from what do you call it? Well, you can get them on Amazon and things like that. Just Google Rossignoli or McGuinness and you'll get those books up. And once again, we did a video for 2020 Expo, I think it was, when they had a virtual one. And Marco and Graham talk about those books. I could never remember the names of them. So they're there. Now let's see, someone else just put a message up there. Ron on Joe's Classic Arcade has been working on a 1948 pinball game. It's been a very interesting fix. He still has a way to go. Oh, okay. I haven't caught up with that yet. I generally watch all Ron's EM videos when I get the chance, so that's good. He does a good job there in South Carolina. I hope to perhaps visit there one day, for sure. Are you around that part of the world, Wacky? Maybe? Now, we already mentioned the target pool. That was done. The target pool was an enormous job. I mean, it really, really was. It looked pretty to start with, but the guts of it, there was rust in it, and that's why we had to pull the drip bank apart, because we tried to take a coil out and we couldn't get the screw out to change it. So anyway, that's why we did that. There's a guy on our Facebook page is doing one on a Williams hotline at the moment. He said he knew how to do it. So, yeah, there's a dog going cook again. Got a visitor, you see. Doesn't like visitors. Doesn't seem to like females, but this is a male. Strange dog. Okay. Graham's just had to step away to be with our visitor. It's actually the person delivering his beer, which is good. What else have we got here? Oh, you're in Washington. Okay. Oh, I'm up north in Washington. Oh, right, yeah. All right. Okay. Very good. Now, a few other things have happened this year. We've ran 2 training courses. We did one in September, we did one in November. They're the ones where we spend from 8 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon teaching people about the basics and repairing electromechanical pinball machines. I've been involved with pretty well most of the fun with pinball clinics. I think one clashed with one of our training courses, so I've probably done about 9 of those, 10 of those this year with Mark Gibson and all the other coaches. They're good. There won't be any more of those now till January, I imagine, at the end of the year. Graham mentioned earlier on, we did a couple of call-outs. We did... we don't do many house calls, but we will do a call out if we've, say, had the machine in here in the last couple of years and something minor. It's just too much drama for us to pack a tool bag, try and figure out what part we might need, go there, find out you haven't got the part, come back. That's why we like to get the machines in here. We did knock back doing a couple of machines. We got a high hand in here, which was a 3rd high hand, and we had to send it back to the guy. I said, it's just too much. All the lacing had been undone on the cabling, cables were cut. Oh, relays were missing. No thanks. Anyway, the guy's done our course and he's going to have a go at it himself, and we'll help him if necessary. He can do all that major work, just a mess. And we had the same owner had a Supersonic by Zachariah. The whole bonus unit's missing. There's wires hanging out of it. The replay unit's missing too. So we sort of said, we probably won't do that either. Just takes too much of our time. Hence the announcement we made about 2 months ago concerning bingos. We're going to have a break from doing bingos for maybe 12 to 18 months. Now, Graham loves bingos, but they're just overwhelming. They take so much time and effort. We just keep running out of time. Remember, this is only a hobby, not a business, and we only work 4 hours a day, if that. We generally like to start at 8, but sometimes we don't start till 8:30. People come round, get visitors and all that sort of stuff. That was another thing we did. There's been 3 pinball shows that we've had representation from in over our way at the moment. We had our own Pin Fest back in September. Goes the third weekend in September. I think it was June or July in Tasmania, that island we talk about. They had their second Pin Fest. We didn't, Graham and I didn't go down, but one of our friends from here did. And earlier in the year, I think it was March or April, there was one in Coffs Harbour, which is about 400 kilometre north of us here, so 300 odd mile, at the Hoey Moe. The Hoey Moe is a pub up there, and a guy up that way organised about 20 machines, and they had, I think it was just for one day on a Saturday, that was on. So, people went to that, and that was all good. Now, I guess we also should thank people that have helped us during the year. We get a lot of people drop round, and we get a few people help us do things. Now, we showed you a while back our big goat shed sign we had made, and we feel we'd like to make a special mention to the lovely Linda for doing the artwork on that. She
done a great job.
Done a fantastic job. We're really happy with that. That hangs proudly in the shed.
If she's listening, she's got 2 more to do.
Oh, there you go.
Next year.
Yeah, next year. We've always got something to do. We have people give us advice on different things from time to time. They know who they are. And it's always great to be able to have friends worldwide. I think we've got almost 2,200 subscribers on YouTube now, which when we started, we thought, we'd probably be lucky to get 50 people. So that's great. And as I mentioned, we're now monetised, so I'll remind you again to make sure you watch as many of our videos as you can. I don't care if you turn your computer on and press continuous play and let them go all day. That'd be really good. The other thing we did have completed this year was our the goat shed. So renovations were carried out on that. New doors, a roof had been put on a few years ago. We can now walk in between the 2 sheds. We've had electrical work done, and
a new bench.
A new bench made out the back, and
a big new cupboard in the main shed.
Yes, and a shelf for the rubbers. Rubbers. Okay. Is that an appropriate word to use? Anyway, we've got a few messages up there. Let's have a little look. Where are they? He would be tickled pink if you would stop by for a visit. Yes. Look, I'm once again a friend of mine who lives in Alabama has planned given me some suggestions for a trip up on the East Coast. I really would like to see Virginia, North and South Carolina. So I'm hoping to get over there, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And Marco just put up happy 7th anniversary to the goat shed. Yeah, so what that is our Facebook page.
Yeah.
So Marco set that up on Boxing Day 2016. And so, yeah, it's almost the 7th anniversary on Monday of our Facebook page, which Marco originally started because we have the Newcastle Pinball Association here. They're the people responsible for Pinfest. And he used to put what we were doing in there, what's Graham doing and this and that. And but he said, oh, well, we'll start a page and just local people will look at it. Well, our Facebook page has got well over 3,000 members and growing every day.
Yeah, we thought it would be just local people, maybe some from Sydney, but just went on.
It's worldwide. Our YouTube channel indicates that our viewers are mainly between 54 and 65. That's the greatest percentage of our viewers, so obviously older people and some retired people. It's our main viewers come from the USA, Canada, Australia, the UK, Germany, Belgium, Italy, France. They only represent those last few, a small percentage of people. But that's great. I mean, we're happy to help, and people will write some kind comments about what we do. I think we're a little bit unique in what we do. We go into, how to pull things down and repair them. Other people do it differently, and everyone's contributing in some way or the other, and I think that's really, really good. So 20 machines, maybe 21 machines this year.
Couple of playfield swaps.
Couple of playfield swaps and a couple of spray jobs on their own. Now Graham does all that. I got no artistic bones in my body, but he did art at school.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, but it makes a change from working on the machines, just painting them.
Yeah. Oh, they are. Yeah, today is Jim Holder's birthday, everyone. I don't know if Jim's still with us, but...
Happy birthday, Jim.
Yeah.
And Spanky.
I think you've caught up with me too, Jim. So that means he's 70. God.
Yeah.
I might have to retire again. Okay. It's our... I hope everyone will join us for a cup of coffee. Are we going to have our coffee today, or...?
Definitely.
Yeah. It's 10:30 here. We have coffee every day at 10:30. But what I wanted to make mention of, and a lot of people will say, who cares? It looks like next year, 2024, we'll be coming to America again. As providing Spanky can get a visa, that'll be good.
Sure, back in.
Yeah. Oh, who's that? Okie Dean, hope you're doing well. Yeah, we are doing well this day, thanks.
Excellent, yeah.
Yeah, we can't complain. There you go. Jim's getting some more birthday wishes. Yes, he's 70. Yes, I saw that on your Facebook page, Jim. Yeah, so we'll be coming to America again. Now, those of you that have met me in the States before know that I travel with another guy called Craig. We're rather hoping that Graham will be able to come this time. We're just going to wait and see. We have been invited to speak at Expo 2024 again by Rob Burke, and he wants us to let him know as soon as possible because, it's the 40th anniversary of Expo, so it's a big thing. It's going to go for one extra day, I believe, this time. So, yeah, but we'd like to incorporate the York show because it happens in the same month, which is October, and this time, last time we went in 2022, there was a bit of a gap between York and Chicago. I think it was about 6 or 7 days. In 2018, when I first went over to the States, it was only a few days, 3 or 4 days. It's going to be like that again next year, so that's great. That suits us. And that's what I was saying earlier. Because I'll be probably travelling with someone else, we'll have to sort our travel plans out to suit everyone. But we're fairly flexible like that. We do a lot of driving. So I've seen a fair bit of America. But like I said, I really, really would like to see the beauty of the East Coast on the Atlantic Ocean. I think that's the most beautiful part of America. Sorry, people in California, but your beaches do not compare to ours in any way, shape or form. But that's just my opinion. I'm not a big fan of Los Angeles. Terribly busy place. But they're our plans to come over to America again. So you can look forward to seeing us, and if we'll post our itinerary up when we make our mind up, and we actually hope to have our mind made up by about Easter next year to book the flights. The only consideration is the cost, or the dollar is not friendly to us at the moment. Last year when we were there, it was 63 cents, 61 cents. It went up and down. It wasn't very much. So just to give you guys in the States an idea of that, if I went to an ATM machine to get $300 out, that's US dollars, when I looked at my bank statement, it was probably costing me $485 with bank fees, exchange rate, etc. So it's, you know, it's not wasn't too friendly. I'll keep you posted with the itinerary, and we'll let you know if Graham's going to come over, and we'll just see what happens, and we can make another good holiday of it, for sure. And I would like to take my friend's offer up on travelling to South Carolina, North Carolina, and yes, I would love to go and see Ron and Joe at their premises in South Carolina. That would be great. And yeah, ouch, yeah, I know, tell me about it.
Yeah.
But it's only money, and you know, I'm retired, and what else can you do?
Yep.
I mean, when I retired, I planned on travelling. You know, I want to go to Canada, believe it or not. I was going to do the Rocky Mountaineer train ride, but sadly my wife has crook ears, and she'll burst her eardrum if she flies, and there's nothing you can do about it. So got to travel on my own with someone else. But that's okay, it sort of works out. So a couple more trips to America for me, see a little bit more. I want to see a bit more New York City. I've mentioned this before, I love New York City. Last time I walked over the Brooklyn Bridge and caught the subway to Coney Island, and all that might seem incidental to you, but to us Australians who grew up watching movies in America, and you saw places like Coney Island and the big roller coaster, can't think what they call it at the moment, Nathan's hot dogs, all that sort of stuff, but quite a thrill to go there. Up the Empire State Building in Chicago, up the Sears Tower. Shouldn't say that now, should they? The Willis Tower. And walk around Chicago, go on the river. Really good stuff. The home of Pinball. Even last year, got to see the old Gottlieb factory in North Costner Avenue. That was, just found that by accident. That was really cool. And that day, I took my photo there, out the front of it.
And the Shameless House.
Yeah, we went to the Shameless House, that's right. And that's where we found it, on the way back from the Shameless House. I think the Shameless House is in South Chicago, is it not? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really good. So that was the year that was for us, and by God, it's gone very, very quickly. The whole year, hasn't it?
Yeah, well, what have we got lined up for next year that we know of?
Well, a guy phoned up about a magnetron the other day.
Yeah, that's right, yeah, magnetron.
We're still waiting for Royal Guard. Yeah. Well, what we've decided to do, we fix pinball machines for other people, and we do have some of our own projects underway. And those projects are, in order of receiving them, Midway Whirlybird from 1969. That's the helicopter training game, you know, where
I'm hoping to start painting the pattern on that early next year.
Yeah, it was a good road trip, thanks. We've got that. We've sort of done a lot of the guts of it, like we did the score reels. They've got interesting score reels. They've got they've got a clutch in them, like the Bally Bingos, a leather clutch.
It's a very clever idea. So they've got the one motor that uses this for the score wheel thing for the timer and all that.
Yeah, and they link together by like a, what would you call it, a coupling.
Yeah.
And
See, that ones we had was missing. We got some made or something, didn't we?
no, that was on the machine that that Nathan had that time.
That one?
A chap down in Melbourne made
Because
them.
you'll find a lot of midway machines use exactly the same motor for all their games.
Yeah,
Gun games, pinball type games, novelty games.
yeah,
Very clever idea.
yeah, yeah. So we've got that game to do. We had a whole new cabinet made for that, and that's just sitting down in the shed. So we really want to get that going. The plastic insert part that shows the hills and all that, it's pretty dirty, but you know, a good clean and scrub down will make that come up. And we have to get a new helicopter for it. So there was a guy making them over in the States, but I contacted him. He wanted some ridiculous, $300 or something. I mean, God, that'd cost us $500-600 by the time we got here. So we might find a toy helicopter or
well, all the mechanics are
something.
there, the motors, all that there. So we could make something up.
And then we've got our lightning ball to do, our pinball machine from 1959. Now, we got that November last year, and this time last year, the last job we did was pull the motorboard out of it and strip everything off it and lacquer the motorboard and clean everything up, and we've got it all to go, and just about
we've finished the guts of the head as well.
Yeah, and we've got the rotary bizzo that says lightning ball on it. Like a lot of people say they buckle. Well, ours is pretty good. It's just missing a bit of paint, so we're going to have to get that touched up. And we've had the cabinet all done.
The cabinet's ready for pattern.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You got the stencil for that?
Yeah, my mum's made a stencil.
Or are you going to freehand it?
I've done it already.
Oh, there you go. He's done it. Look.
Yeah.
So yeah, we want to try and do that for ourselves, and we want to finish My Tropic Isle, and then we've got a customer that's got a lot of a few more playfield swaps. We're in the middle of doing a what is that game? Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
That should be done early next year.
That should be done early next year to the end of next year. So yeah,
it'll be a pretty game.
Yeah,
we've got to do. We've got to complete a volley swap.
Yes,
swap.
Same owner, and Eldorado playfield swap,
and a jumping jack as well.
Oh, he should be experienced enough by then to do that himself.
I think so.
Yeah.
Should be an easy one. There's only one big bank. Well, he went to come to our last course, so he should know what he's doing.
That's absolutely correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've got a fair bit to get started on from next year. I think in reality, we don't look for work. It just turns up. We don't advertise.
No, never.
Graham's been doing it for so long. He's been doing it. So this is his 38th year. Next year will be his 39th.
Sometimes we think what machine we're doing next, and just someone will bring up that day.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that Magnetron came out of the blue.
Yeah.
And that was a guy who we'd previously done I think a Kingpin for him.
Yeah, we have a lot of return customers, don't we? Once they get one done, they want to get other machines that come back.
Yeah. So we see that there, Graham.
Yep.
Someone's asking about what's CETK. Close Encounters of the T means turbulent kind. Yeah.
Something like that.
Oh, okay, so Joe's doing a blue star, is it? 1948 blue sky, sorry. What, you familiar with that, Graham? A wood rat?
No, what is it?
Oh, well, Joe's Classic Arcade's doing one.
It doesn't sound like a Gottlieb.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Williams name.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll have to have a look at his video.
Yeah.
So, Ron is very kindly mentions us sometimes. He calls us the Palace, the Pinball Palace or something like that. I sent him over one of our goat shed signs earlier this year, maybe late last year, and he's proudly shown that in his videos. And I'll just stand up and set this up for a second.
And where is the place that's got one in the toilet?
Yeah, that's yeah, they're all over the world. That's in Girard, Ohio, in Pastimes Arcade, and there's one somewhere else in the toilet as well.
Stolen. One got stolen.
What's the high pitched hissing noise? Oh, cicadas.
Cicadas, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what a cicada is? CICADA. Okay.
Yeah, they bury themselves in the ground and they come out at Christmas and climb trees.
There's our famous goat shed sign. I don't know how many of our viewers there have got one of those, but we've actually had, by popular demand, had more of them made.
And the special sign as well that we won't show yet.
Yeah, we've got another special sign which should sell very well, and it'll be very popular in people's workshops. And I'll give you a hint, it's to do with score reels, but that's all we're going to say. So those goat shed signs, we're going to have those hopefully at the end of January, and we'll be able to put them to market maybe early February, as long as the guy sticks to his word. He screwed an order up of the thing we're not going to tell you too much about. We were supposed to already have those.
These things happen.
So there, that hissing noise has stopped now. They're those cicadas, and they get really, really noisy. You can drive past some areas, and that's all you can hear.
Yeah,
oh,
it's terrible.
You wouldn't like to live near them.
And they weigh on you too.
They do too.
Yeah.
Filthy little things. So, yes, Brett, we were only joking. Close Encounters is still getting done, I think, isn't it, Greg?
Yeah, but the year is the thing. Sorry, Brett, it's all good.
It's all good.
All forgiven.
Just having a bit of fun with the owner of that game. We sit here and take the piss out of each other, Graham and I, and probably other people, and it helps pass the time away.
Yeah, but there's no malice.
What would the world be if you couldn't have a bit of a laugh and a joke, eh?
Yeah.
And it's quite funny.
We laugh a lot in the goat shed.
Some of our American viewers appreciate an Australian sense of humour. Some American people
don't get it.
Don't get it. And
it's probably better they don't get it.
Yeah. A great example of that in Australia. Over in the States, there's a franchise called Mr. Rooter. Anyone familiar with Mr. Rooter? I think they get.
Used to go to school then.
Yeah, they get unblocked drains and sewers and that. Anyway, rooting here in Australia means something totally different. Can mean the same as what you mean it, but it has a sexual innuendo and connotation. So, some guy last time I said, "You guys are sick." Well, yes, we are. So there's something about Australians. We have a very similar sense of humour to the English, unfortunately, because that's where a lot of our heritage comes from. Indeed. I have a beer with an Englishman. Oh, well, he's born in Australia, but he went and lived in England, and he hates being called a pommy, and they get offended. And when we play cricket against them, they call them that, and they get also offended.
Yeah.
I think we've covered most of the things we want to talk about. We've thanked people. We've gone through most of the things that happened this year. I can't really think of anything else that we need to talk about. Can you, Graham? I mean...
No, I think we've covered most. Just basically, hope everyone has had a good year and a best new year next year, and have a great Christmas.
You see, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's winter now, and it's summer here, so we only have warm Christmas, where you have a cold one, and some places have snow. And we don't see any snow where we live here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
In our state, if you go south west a little bit to what we call the Snowy Mountains region, you get a bit of snow down there. It happens from about June through September. And I've only ever been down there once as a little kid. Have you ever been in Snowy?
Yeah, I've been in Snowy. When I was about 20. I wasn't that impressed. You're always wet. Your socks are always wet. Everything's wet.
You took some young girl down there, didn't you?
I did. I went with her. I went with the under 18 women's soccer league. So that was interesting.
Goodness.
It's only me and another bloke with about 20 women.
I take it you were the referee.
I kept score.
Very well.
That's what I done. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Goodness me. What's this? I listen to a lot of Kevin Bloody Wilson. Right.
Yeah,
Kevin Wilson is an Australian comedian who's very bawdy and tells filthy jokes.
He was very popular in the 80s.
His daughter works with him now. She calls herself... Oh, I don't know if we can even say the word. I just can't think.
Yeah.
A friend of mine, Kevin Wilson comes from West Australia, okay, and a friend of mine is related to him, and we were supposed to actually meet him and go to one of his shows, but it got cancelled, so I never got to. I would have liked to meet the guy. I think his daughter does more than him now. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think he's probably semi-retired by now.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure.
He'd have to be in his 70s, I'd say.
Yeah, he would be, for sure and certain.
Yeah.
And of course, we have Paul Hogan, who married Linda Kozłowski. He's getting a bit long in the tooth now.
The other comedian that was probably worse than was Rodney Roode.
Rodney Roode, yeah.
He got in a lot of trouble back in the 80s.
Yeah. So, see, in Australia, we eat meat pies. Does anyone know what they are? It's meat in pastry. They're beautiful. Yeah. That's why I'm so fat. Oh, if you get easily offended, you don't belong in the goat shed.
No.
Yeah, well, that's probably pretty true. I've personally managed to offend a few people. And we're still at it, yeah. Of course we are. But anyway, anyone that meets us in America can have a go at us, and we'll take it on the chin, you know. We were talking about pommies earlier, and I won't say the guy's name, but when I first went to Expo, there was another pinball author, and he's an Englishman, and he said, you're an Aussie. And I said, yeah. I said, and you're a pommy. Oh, didn't he get upset? Oh, God, you just called me an Aussie. I'm not offended. And it's a term of endearment, I suppose, or he felt it was a term of being insulted. Anyway, he ended up saying, I get a bit sensitive about it. I don't know why, but you've got to be careful, haven't you? You know, it's like last time I was in America. A lot of people were talking about the president. We won't go there, but well, that's very true, Marco. It did snow in Newcastle in 1965. I was about 11 years old, and we could see it. It snowed on a place called Mount Sugarloaf, which is sort of due west of where Graham and I are here in Glendale.
Yeah, probably 10 k's maybe.
And the back window of my mum and dad's house in North Lambton looked due west, and here was this Mount Sugarloaf. And it had snow on it, and we'd never seen that in our lives. And then it did it again, Marco, in about 1971, I think, from memory. I think
it has snowed since then.
Pardon me?
It has snowed.
Has it?
Yeah.
Not a lot though. So yeah, with snow. I have a couple of friends that have just come back from the UK. They got out of there before it got too cold, and I guess in some of the states. In the USA where it gets really cold. I remember the first time I went over there in Pennsylvania, I saw on the fire hydrant there was like a stake, a big long pole, and I said, what's that for? And they said, when it snows, that's how they can find the fire hydrant if there's a fire.
Yeah.
There you go. I mean, you don't think of these things, but
they're used to it. That's what they do.
Yeah. Exactly what they do. All right. Does anyone want to ask us any pinball-related questions? I mean, if we can help you, we'll help you now. I know it takes a moment to type things out and all that sort of stuff. And I just want to remind everybody, and particularly you guys, well, really anyone in the world that might be watching, and if you have a problem that bothers you or has troubled you with your pinball machine, and you just can't fix it, and nobody on social media has been able to help, or you haven't reached out, go to Fun with Pinball. That's Fun with Pinball website. Sign up for the email when he has courses. Make sure you've got facilities like you can show on video your problem, and it'll tell you a few other things you've got to check you can use. And once a month, he has Mark has his Fun with Pinball clinics, and there's normally 2 or 3 coaches on there plus Mark, and you send in your questions, and then he evaluates what's involved and who will take on. And then what he'll do, he'll send you an invite, and he'll send us coaches the questions, so we've got time to ponder them. And if we've got the schematic, we can have a look at the schematic, and by the time we're on with the guy, we can say, okay, go here, go there, go here, and do this and do that. And we fix a lot of problems. And one guy was elated there a couple of clinics ago. He had a problem with a tilt on a, what's that damn thing? Oh, EM Joker Poker. And we fixed it for him, and he couldn't believe it. So, you know, most people are happy. We get really good feedback. Now, what's someone saying there? Saw Kevin Bloody Wilson in London in '98. Hey Santa, where's me? Best wishes from a pommy living in Ireland. Oh, you traitor. Kevin Humphrey, you traitor. You're going for a Guinness. Hey? I don't know. Yeah, a friend of mine's mate is Scottish, and he's over in Scotland right now. So hello, Don. That guy lives down the south coast of New South Wales in a place called Bermagui. So he's over visiting his elderly mum in Scotland.
Aye.
I know a few Scottish... I better not. Yeah. But, yeah, I love that song, yeah. Yeah, well, see, Australian humour. Yeah. A lot of people, as I say, don't get it, you know, and that's not just Americans. I'm not picking on you guys. But, yeah, we Australians and...
Yeah, we've got very strange sense of
English have very odd sense of humours. If anyone's ever watched any of the great English shows, comedy shows like Reg Varney's On the Buses, he's going to have 3 Guinnesses. Are You Being Served with Mr. Humphreys? They're all dead now. And Love Thy Neighbour in particular was a very controversial show in the 70s, and they did some reruns here on a TV channel, and some religious group jumped up and down about it. Now, I won't go into it, but if you've got a good sense of humour and you want to watch an interracial program, Love Thy Neighbour is extremely funny.
And Till Death Us Do Us Part was another good one.
Oh, Till Death Do Us Part. Yeah, some fantastic shows. I think there's...
they're very clever shows.
You can see most of them on YouTube.
Yep.
Or if not, there's a British streaming channel that shows a lot of them.
Watch them.
On you, yeah. So, great sense of humour. I think you'd agree with that, Kevin Humphrey, would you? Yeah, I don't know how old you are. I'm sure you've seen those shows.
Mr. Humphreys.
Mr. Humphreys? Oh, goodness. Damn Australians. All we do is wear thongs, go to the beach and go to the pub and drink grog.
Nothing wrong with that.
I might do that this afternoon.
And fix pinballs.
Yeah, fix pinball. We've got to have a few drinks to fix that.
Yeah.
Haven't you? Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like anyone's got any questions. What's the oldest game you've worked on? Okay. A Miami from 19...
What was that?
Miami?
38 or something?
38. Yeah, Chicago coin Miami. Yeah. A guy had one about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I've worked on some bag of 12 type games from the early 30s.
Yeah, but that's the oldest you've worked with me.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful machine, a beautiful backlight. He had it at our Pinfest. Marco, you'd remember that. And I think he tried to sell it. But it was a beautiful, the playfield, and we took the coin slide out and polished it with brasso and buffed it up, and
we had to get a new shooter rod.
Yeah, that's right.
It collapsed.
And the timer mech was seized up.
Yeah, we'll fix that.
And we fixed that up. It's a sealed mech. You know, they didn't have a game over really. They had a timer that went for, I don't know, can't remember.
I think
a minute,
I think
2 minutes?
No, longer than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
3 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
That
So,
was funny.
yeah, what model when soldering gun? Oh, look, the guy gave, it's hard to, it's 288 or 266. I can't read it. I tried to read it again the other day for someone else. So, the story behind that is when I was in the States last year and we were in Chicago, we were at Expo and John Peterson, he's a well-known guy over there. He flies his own single-engine airplane all over Chicago out of Schaumburg Airport. He invited us to come round to the airport, his hangar, where he has a pile of pinball machines, and also took us to his home in Lombard, which isn't all that far from there. And we went round to his hangar and had a look at all his machines and his plane and everything. And just coincidentally, that plane became famous because John's engine failed on him above Lake Michigan. That's not good. It's only got one engine. And he thought he was going to crash into Lake Michigan, and he really, really thought it was bye-bye. He managed to land, for those of you that are familiar with Chicago, on Lakeshore Drive. So he goes over to radio and say, look, I can land on Lakeshore Drive. So the police got there and he landed perfectly safely, and he only had to get his plane carted away from there and back to Schaumburg, but that's just who he is. And he's a really nice guy, and he took us to his home, and he's got a basement full of machines, and they're all great restorations. He does a fabulous job. And he's always believed in the soldering gun for doing the lamp sockets. And it does it quickly because it heats up. Now, I had a practice with it, and I thought, oh, okay. It's a heavy gun, right? But it works. Graham sort of did think the same as well. Took a little bit to get used to, but yeah, we use that. So the only thing is, of course, it's 110 volt, and we had to get a step-down transformer that matched the wattage and so on. So my friend Craig, he's an electrician, the guy that I go to America with. He lives down in Sydney. He took it home with him from the airport when we landed in November last year, and I didn't see it again till about 2 weeks ago. I said, I really want this to do Tropical Isle. So yeah, I got that back. So that's good. So I'm sorry, I don't know. I don't know exactly, but I think it's 288. I don't know if you could read it, Graham.
You can't read it.
Yeah, I meant to get the magnifying glass out. Look, who asked that question? Pinballer 0309. Are you on our Facebook group? If you are, I'll post on Facebook what it is, or I'll ask John. I'll email him and ask him what it is. So Miami was at Pinfest 2019. Marco, I think it was the first one we had at Club Macquarie. We had it against anyway, it doesn't matter. But in answer to Wacky World, that was the oldest game that we've worked on, and probably the second oldest game would be what?
Oh, there's
we had that. What was that bowling gun we had from Chris?
we worked on.
We don't see a lot of wood rail games.
Yeah.
They're not.
Well, that was Classy Bowler.
Classy Bowler. What is that? 58, 50?
58, I think.
Yeah.
58.
We worked on a few wood rails. We worked on another one. What was that one that belonged to Troy?
Arabian Nights, was it?
Arabian Nights? Yeah. We don't see a hell of a lot of vintage games like wood rails. Yeah. There are a few collectors of them here in Australia. There's one guy down in Victoria, on the border, what we call the border, in Wodonga, Albury Wodonga.
Well, we worked on Dragnet.
Oh, Dragonet. Yeah, we sort of did, didn't we? Yeah, that was, yeah. So, yeah, in the...
It doesn't matter.
In the time I've been here, we've only seen about four Yeah. Well,
Because there's just not that many around Newcastle area.
no, that's for
But
sure.
the ones that we do see is mainly drop target. I've got low drop target games from the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, the standard ones that we always see, like Bronco and Surf Champ and Card Whiz,
Oh,
Jet
oh,
Spin. Yeah,
how many of those do we see?
and we've seen 4 or 5 high hands in the last couple of years, 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, we prefer to see we prefer a wedge head than a 4-player game.
Doesn't matter. Well, we'll work on it, but
Just
we can knock out a wedge head a lot quicker.
yeah, there's not as many score reels to go through. But anyway, that's the way it is. You get those Italian games. They've got the extra score reels in them, you know.
Yeah, the dummies.
Some have got the reelies in them, haven't they?
Yeah, some have got 5 reels.
Yeah.
Some of the later Williams had five working wheels
Okay.
in each one.
Yeah.
But Williams score reels are easy to work on.
Okay. Well, we got Just Call Me Wacky. Rightio, Wacky. We sure will. Now, does nobody sort of wants to ask us anything? Hey, we have super chats. Anyone want to give us a super chat? Oh, you don't have to. We need beer money for
Spanky
Christmas.
Spanky wants to go down the pub.
Spanky, yeah, we need. Oh, hi Ron. Good day to Merry Christmas to you. Thank you very much, and to Spanky. Yeah, look,
Yeah.
Spanky sends his regards to everybody, and
He's in high spirits.
he's always on spirits.
Yeah.
I think he's drunk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He's got his front leg's got a bit of an issue.
I think Skanky was talking about divorce. He comes home too pissed every day.
I don't think it'll worry him.
Probably not. No. So we've had a good year. We've had an enjoyable year.
Yeah, it's been a busy year with the renos, but that's pretty well done.
Yeah, it has. That was a big. That sort of. Well, what's probably the. It was a big job.
Well, it's a big inconvenience.
And yeah, it sort of did upset the equilibrium of us all a fair bit, but it's good. I haven't found a machine yet. One day I might have questions. Oh, okay. Yeah, very well. Keep looking. They're all out there.
Yeah, just be very careful when you buy one. Just check everything's there.
Yeah.
Because that's what's happening lately. We've been getting a lot of parts machines in.
Oh, Ron, thank you for $5. Wonderful. We are so
Thanks,
Spanky.
Yes,
Spanky sends his love.
it's over the moon.
He just fell over. We mentioned he was a bit full. He's taken to it. All donations are gratefully accepted. What we do, we bought a pile of coils recently off an old operator, and what we do, the money, we'll sell those to people that ring us up, say, have you got this, you got that, and the money we make from that we put into like we call it our petty cash, but we're saving up to buy a pinball trolley.
Yep.
And
Any money we make goes back into
pinball.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit into our guts for grog,
Yeah.
but let's be reasonable. We didn't get these figures for nothing.
It's a lot of money invested.
Oh, hell yeah! Got to stop going to the pub and all those women want their autograph. I can't understand it.
Oh, it's terrible.
I've had to stop wearing my goat shed shirt to the pub.
Yeah,
What about you?
I know. Just trying to rip it off you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not going to the bedroom window at 3 in the morning.
Yeah. So don't forget about the signs for sale, people. We'll have those next year. Don't forget about the other mysterious sign we're going to have, which I think will sell very, very well. We'll see how that goes. And anyone got any idea what it might be? Maybe yes, maybe no. What we'll also do, we had an idea put forward to us about another piece of merchandise that I think people might enjoy. And it'll be talk about alcohol. It's got something to do with alcohol. Oh, and other beverages. Well, I'll tell you what it is. It's a bottle opener. We're going to get some Spanky bottle openers by the look of it. with Spanky's picture on it.
Yep.
And we'll see how they go. People have asked us about T-shirts. Look,
maybe later.
Maybe one day. The big problem is everybody knows no matter where you buy a T-shirt these days, they're made in China. And what are the Chinese? They're only short little people. And sizes vary. So someone who normally wears a 2XL might order a 2XL, but it might be too big or too small. So there's all those problems. So we're sort of a little bit apprehensive about doing T-shirts and shipping overseas.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
We have this entity here called Australia Post, which is about as useful as a pork chop in Jerusalem. They charge ridiculous prices for deliveries, and because no one mails anything anymore, and they've recently put their prices up. Your cat's hungry. Oh, okay. We haven't got a cat anymore.
Got a dog.
Let's celebrate their 10th super on a live stream. Oh, right. Yeah, we've got a dog. I got 2 pug dogs. Used to have a cat. Okay, Wacky, so you like pussy? Okay. Nice. A lot of people don't like cats. I do. I like cats. Let's go here. Let's get rid of that for a minute. What's going on here? Yeah, all right. Okay, people. I think we might end this video in a moment.
Yeah, we've got to finish that playfield swap.
We're going to try and get a bit more of...
and have a cuppa.
Oh, he got the joke. He got the joke. Okay. Very good, Wacky. I'm very impressed. Where are you, Washington? I might drop by and see you when I'm in America. Hey,
Yeah.
how's that?
It's Spanky. Have a beer.
I wouldn't mind going to. I wouldn't mind going to Washington. I wouldn't mind going to Seattle either. There's a lot of places I want to go, but I won't get there. Another friend wants me to go down to, what do you call it? In the Gulf down there. What do they call that? Well, I suppose they call it the Gulf. Down in Florida.
Florida Keys.
No, he lives in Pensacola.
Oh.
And that's where the US Air Force Blue Angels, I believe, are based. Now, I saw the Blue Angels last year in San Diego at the Air Force Base there. What's the name of that Air Force Base? It starts with an M for Mary, I think. It was a stinking hot day. Goat shed bumper caps. People, oh, well, we probably could.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, okay, Chuck, yeah, Merry Christmas to you and Happy New Year. Thank you so much.
Merry Christmas.
And a Merry Christmas to everybody. Yeah, I guess there's a few things we could do, but it's just a matter of organising. We were going to get some goat shed stickers made. A guy kindly did send me the artwork for that.
Maybe some coasters.
And Dave H. Now, Dave H., is that you that's the coach with me on Mark's Fun with Pinball? Just say yes or no. I think it is it not? Go for a ride and the Space Noodle. Yeah, so I mentioned John Peterson earlier on. He's just been over that side of the world. He did a train trip from Chicago over there and over west. And, yeah, he showed pictures of the Space Needle. That's in Tacoma, I believe. Is that correct? There's just so many places to see in America. It's such a big place. You just can't possibly... Ah, good, Dave. Yeah, all right. I thought so. Yes, great. So Dave H., he's in the Poconos in Pennsylvania. And Dave, if we come over to York, I hope you're going to come to York and say hello this year. Do you normally go to York, mate? Anyway, you've got plenty of time to think about it. For sure. So Pennsylvania will be getting nice and cold at the moment in that part of the world. For sure. Yes. Oh, it's in Seattle. Okay, rightio. Yeah, all right. Well, I wasn't sure. But we might get there one day and see. Our fellow coach from Fun with Pinball, lives in Seattle. That's Tim Moon. Gee, there's a guy extremely knowledgeable on pinball. And, as a kid, he grew up in Chicago, and he lived within a couple of miles of the Hole 3 Kingpin factory. Chicago, Bally and Williams, he lived very close to all those factories, and they used to go by them as kids, you probably would have been exciting as a kid,
Send the new things getting on the truck.
Oh, okay, you go to Pinfest in Allentown. All right, okay. Well, that's in Pinfest is on earlier in the year in June, I think. Okay. There's so many friends we need to catch up with when we're in the States, and we get invited into people's homes to see their collections, and some we've had to say, look, thanks very much, but we just can't make it. I think the biggest disappointment we had was in 2018. I know I'm waffling on a bit here, but the great man, Wayne Noyens, we were invited to his place in Mountain Home, Arkansas, and at the time we were in Chicago, and we did everything we could possibly do to figure out how to get to go and see him. I think that year was the year he turned 100, or maybe 99, I can't remember. We just couldn't get there. It was just not physically possible to do it. So that was a great disappointment. But I did get to talk to him on the telephone about 2 years ago, about a year before his death. And that was a great honour, because that guy designed so many great machines, and likewise it would have been great to have gotten to talk to Norm Clark. What do we go? The cold is going away for a while. It's pissing down here in Ohio. Oh, righty-ho, okay. I hope you've had the time, Chuck, to go to the Pastimes Arcade in Gerard. Australia's on your bucket list. Well, you need to come to the Goat Shed. So a lot of people have asked us where we are from Sydney. So in your terminology, we're 100 miles north of Sydney. So Sydney is where the Opera House is, the Harbour Bridge. But up our way, we've got a lot of beautiful beaches. So
got everything.
We've got wineries. The premier wine region of Australia is in the Hunter Valley, which is 1 hour from here. We have what we call the Blue Water Wonderland, which is the Port Stephens area, Nelson Bay, 1 hour from here. And we have our own beaches, which is a 20-minute drive from our homes. We have 4 major beaches just on the coast. So Newcastle, when you go into the city, is as far as you can go, then you hit the coast. And so this is where we live. And home of the Newcastle Knights, that's correct.
Yeah.
Goodness me. I don't know if you follow rugby league, but yeah, that's correct. The Newcastle Knights are our home rugby league team here. Rugby league is a national sport here, and along with a lot of people still call it soccer, but football, rugby union, which we had the guy Kevin on there earlier from the UK, is a very big game here. Now baseball, the American staple games, and gridiron. Baseball is semi-popular in Australia. A lot of people, if anyone knows cricket, one of our great cricketers, and he was the captain of Australia for a while, a guy called Alan Border, he was a very accurate batsman. And one of the reasons was he actually played baseball. So his little bat hitting the ball to a bigger bat hitting the ball. And gridiron is not so popular. But we do have, here in Newcastle, we have a gridiron. I only found this out recently because a friend of mine actually plays it, and he's a big solid dude. A gridiron association, teams do get together and play gridiron. And we do watch it on the TV. What is it, the Super Bowls in February or March? That's sort of super popular. And if we're at the pub, we see it. And of course, not forgetting basketball. Now, basketball is very popular here. It is only a 2-hour drive, Marco, that's right, or about 2.5 hour train ride. But yeah, some American sports that are and aren't popular, but basketball is probably our most popular. Okay, all right, yeah, okay, Wacky, yeah, the NRL is the only rugby we get now on our cable without paying premium, so I watch the NRL every week during the season. Oh, righty-go, okay, that's very, very interesting. I didn't think too many people. Actually, our Newcastle Knights are going to Vegas. Now when are they going? So there you go, Chuck. The Knights will be playing in Vegas. I think they go and play demonstration games. I can't remember when. If you looked it up, Googled it, you'll find out when. All right. Wow. Well, there you go. It's been lovely to spend the morning with you people and the evening in the States. 4 time zones over there. Makes for interesting. We only have 3 time zones in Australia, just in case you didn't know that. But Graham and I will be having a rest. We're just going to go and maybe do a bit more cleaning up. Finish off, well, not finish Tropic Isle off. It won't get finished now.
The shed's a bit of a mess at the moment.
Yeah, the shed is a mess.
So we've got to clean it up ready for next year.
Yeah, make a bigger mess.
Yeah. But usually after restoration, we clean the shed up. Or if we have a course coming up.
Yeah, we're going to do another course next March. So we're hoping to do 3 courses next year, March, then 3 months later. So what's that? June and then September.
Yeah.
And that, depending on interest, like that's the biggest thing with the courses. We like to have a minimum of 4 to 5 people here to make it worth our while.
But since we're up on the dig, it's a lot easier to do.
Yeah.
It's a lot better.
Yeah, so it has been better up here, hasn't it?
Yeah. As long as it doesn't rain, we're right.
Yeah, we're very true.
Yeah, we're lucky.
Absolutely. All right. We'll sign off now. And once again, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We hope your pinball dreams come true over the Christmas period and you get many machines and don't get too many tilts. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for the super chat. And we'll see you all next year. Bye for now.
Thank you.